Welcome back to LEGO Battlebots Season 2. The tournament continues as we move over to Quadrant 3. Now this is a very interesting quadrant. We've got a lot of big spinners, we've got a lot of control bots as well. We've got some very interesting matches, including the defending champion as the number 27 seed. But that's going to be later in the episode. But first off, we're going to see the 14-19 matchup between Witch Doctor and Duck. Starting off with the 14 seed Witch Doctor, they've had a fairly decent season for themselves so far. Last season they went 2-2, snuck in through the wildcard vote, and got obliterated by the channel mascot Nemesis, but now they're 3-1, and they are gaining a lot of momentum. We saw them defeat Captain Shredderator in 2 seconds, and then proceed to annihilate Fusion as everybody expected. That frame has proven to be very durable, and that weapon has proven to be decently powerful, but unreliable. Those vertical discs, the twin discs, proven to be unreliable, and the ground game is not great as well. It's going to be very interesting to see how Witch Doctor's untested fork configuration fares against the lifter beak plow thing of Duck. Speaking of the 19 seed, they have also done pretty well for themselves, getting in the 19 seed, sitting at 3-1 after going 1-3 last season. 2 of their wins have come from just absorbing shots from spinners and just simply surviving. But their win against Lucky proved that they are very capable of using their own lifter to win fights for themselves. They get absolutely mauled by Bloodsport, but they have proven to be a fairly competent bot, and as accurate to real life, they are a very durable machine. That frame does not break, but the lifter is not very reliable. Very interesting to see how these two very different styles will face off in the box. Let's go right down to the arena. Let the bot battle begin. Witch Doctor smashes the face of Duck to start, but Duck gets underneath, slams Witch Doctor into the wall. So now Duck trying to throw Witch Doctor into the screws, using that lifter as much as can. Witch Doctor on top and seems to be stuck now. Screws do reverse and Witch Doctor easily falls off. Duck trying to get back to some semblance of normal. And now Witch Doctor's disc breaks, a piece of Duck's lifter comes off, but that lifter is holding firm, and Duck just gets underneath Witch Doctor again, puts them into the screws for a second time. Witch Doctor now jammed in there, and out of the arena goes the 14 seed. Witch Doctor didn't really get underneath Duck. I mean, they landed some good shots, they bent that lifter up, they took off the beak, but Duck was the bot who was getting underneath throughout the fight. They put Witch Doctor into the screws twice, and once Witch Doctor's weapon broke, it was pretty much over. As soon as Duck was able to get them into the screws for the second time, they really got them stuck, and when the screws reversed, they threw them out of the arena, giving the 19 seed Duck the upset victory. So the 19 seed Duck, the lifter bot, gets the upset victory and advances to the round of 16. Next up, we're going to see who faces them in the round of 16. Either they're going to have a rematch from real life with a 30 seed Bombshell, or a rematch from earlier this season with a 3 seed Bloodsport. Now, let's talk about the 3 seed Bloodsport. The second undefeated bot we'll see in this tournament. Bloodsport has been on an absolute rampage this season. 2-2 last season, 4-0 this season. Knockouts over same day delivery, Cobalt, Duck, and then 2-shot Copperhead. And Bloodsport's 3D printed blade has been its greatest strength this season. Has not broken, and it is just an absolute monster of a bar spinner. However, that bar spinner has also been its greatest weakness, as that weapon has significantly reduced its reliability with how much sheer power it has. It almost broke apart in its first fight, it hasn't had too many issues since, but it's always a looming concern for the number 3 seed as they go further in this tournament, though I think they should have a pretty good chance of taking out Bombshell. As for the 30 seed, they have struggled a bit throughout their career. They've gone 2-2 in both the seasons they've participated in. To manage to sneak in at the 30 seed here, and they honestly should have gotten higher. Their loss against the really unfortunate loss against Red Glow will be haunting them, as now they have a bot that is very well suited to taking them on. Bloodsport's weapon hits higher than Bombshell's wedge. So while Bombshell does have a powerful spinner and a decent ground game, I don't think he stands too much of a chance against the devastating bar that is Bloodsport. But we'll find out in the arena. Let the bot battle begin. The 3 seed Bloodsport, the 30 seed Bombshell. Bloodsport already lands a shot, and as you can see, that weapon is hitting much higher than Bombshell can deflect. So while Bombshell performed well against bots like Captain Shredder, Bloodsport is perfectly designed to counter it. And there's already, the wedge has come off of Bombshell. There's another shot. Bombshell is still moving, but that's not going to be for much. Oh, yeah, that's going to be the kill shot there. Bombshell now not moving at all. This fight is over. The 3 seed easily will take the knockout and advance to the round of 16. Yeah, the Bombshell did not stand a chance.
2, 1, knockout.
No. If Bombshell had beaten Red Glow, it would have gotten a much higher seed than this and not have to fight Bloodsport, at least in the first round. But it is how it is, and Bloodsport just took advantage of the matchup completely favorable to it, and just ripped Bombshell in half, then just completely immobilized it, giving the 3 seed its 5th win of the season, and a ticket to the round of 16, where it will face the 19 seed Duck. And the 3 seed Bloodsport advances to the round of 16, just as the 4 seed Hypershock did last episode, and now they face a rematch with the 19 seed Duck. Now, last time they fought in the 3rd round in the main event, Bloodsport ripped every single wheel off of Duck. But Duck has proven to be very durable and has improved since then. So it's going to be very interesting to see if Bloodsport will repeat its performance, or if Duck will manage to use Bloodsport's slight reliability issues against it. The round 16 won't be for a while, but I feel like that's going to be a match that a lot of people are going to be interested in, and that could shape a lot of brackets. Next up, we will see the 11 seed Titan take down the 22 seed Fusion. Talking about Titan, the bot from Battlebots explained it's done fairly well for itself this season, going 3-1 with some devastating knockouts. It's finished in the round 32 last season. It's not looking to do that this season. They're looking to advance, and they certainly have the weapon to accomplish that. It's a very powerful vertical disc. But the main problem that Titan has had is A, ground clearance issues, and B, that frame reliability. The frame has caused issues in the past with randomly breaking in half. It's not the most securely attached, but I feel like Titan has a fairly easy match for them against Fusion. Fusion's only real advantage is that they could get underneath, but Titan isn't going to be like crippled by flipping in the same way that Fusion's previous opponents have been. As for the 22 seed, they've also done fairly well this season, going 3-1. They were going 3-0 heading into the final round of fight cards, but then lost to Witch Doctor. Now he dropped from a potential 5 seed down to 22, and got a much worse matchup against the 11 seed Titan. While Fusion does have a good enough ground game to play Titan at that battle, its weapon power is severely lacking, and if those forks come off, Fusion doesn't really have a way to finish off Titan. Its horizontal spinner is okay, but it's definitely not the most destructive. So Fusion is kind of the underdog in this fight. But who knows what'll happen? We'll see what happens down in the arena. Let the bot battle begin. so far, well, first off, Titan gets underneath Fusion, lands a very small hit, and there's another bigger hits. Titan able to get Fusion pinned to the wall for a little moment. And there's another shot that this Titan seems to be winning the ground game. And there's another cruel shot. Yeah, Titan has won. But Fusion gets underneath with a quick reversal, slamming Titan into the wall. Trying to use that vertical drum, but of course that's going to do nothing. Fusion gets underneath Titan again. Wow, Fusion wedges working as intended. Now Titan is in the screws. Titan does get out. And Fusion has to on again. Fusion gets underneath again. The 22 seed leading the fight in the first round and flips Titan over again. You can already see cracks starting to form with Titan. But now Titan takes out 2 of Fusion forks. This is a back and forth fight between the 11 and 22 seed. And Fusion gets underneath, puts Titan on its side. And Titan struggling to self-right here, but they are able to get back up. What a shot from Titan there. That's the biggest shot from that spare we've seen in the match. But Fusion just flips Titan again. Fusion winning the control game here and just slams Titan again. Fusion is really starting to win this fight. And honestly, if this keeps up, then I could easily see Fusion winning this. So Titan can't get underneath him. Oh, but now he gets underneath and flips Fusion over. What a reversal Titan has gone there. Fusion on its side now. Oh, big shot there. Now Titan flips Fusion back. Fusion is back in this fight. And now, this little jab there. Titan gets to the side again. Fusion now going with its horizontal spinner. That has not worked. Titan puts Fusion on its side again and lands another massive uppercut. Oh, there goes at least one more of the fork, and there goes, yeah, there's the last. There goes a chunk of Fusion's frame, and there goes the rest. Oh my goodness! And Titan coming from behind to take the knockout win over the 22 seed and advance to the round of 16. This was an incredible fight. Back and forth these bots went. Titan got the advantage in the first exchange, but Fusion dominated the middle portion of this fight. They just got underneath Fusion. Fusion just got underneath Titan again and again, and there was really nothing Titan could do to stop it. Titan was in danger of getting counted out. It was stuck on its side for a little bit of that fight. But in the end, Titan was able to recover, get underneath Fusion, and eventually just rip it apart. Those forks coming up there were a bit of foreshadowing just for what would happen later on in the match. But Fusion did incredibly well during this fight, throwing Titan all around and proving that they are a capable bot. A few things change, and then we could be seeing Fusion in the round of 16 and not Titan. And that would certainly change things. Because either way, Titan getting the knockout win, but Fusion had them on the ropes for such a long time. I mean, Titan was not winning that fight until they flipped Fusion for the first time right there. Once that happened, Titan really started to take control, but before that, they had really not only the damage on the forks. In the end, a great performance by both machines, but it is Titan moving on to the round of 16, while Fusion is eliminated from the bracket. So the 11th seed, Titan, advances to the round of 16 after a long and grueling battle with the 22 seed Fusion. Fusion really proved that deserved to be in this bracket, but it's unfortunately for them, Titan advances. For our final fight of the episode, we will see the 6 seed Whiplash try to get revenge over the 27 seed defending champion Bite Force. Alright, the 6 seed Whiplash, they have been on an absolute tear this season. Victory after victory, they've defeated last season's number 1 and number 5 seeds, along with talent along the way. They only struggled against last season's 3 seed Nemesis, who eventually ended up below them in the seedings. Since they made the quarterfinals last season as the 31 seed, who knows what they'll be capable of as a higher seed, whether it's going to be going further or if it's a Ribot case. Whiplash has been saved pretty much by that anti-spinner wedge that's just helped them to get underneath every bot and has minimized their main weakness, which is their lifter reliability. That lifter has failed them in so many fights, but now they just have that wedge that they can just rely on to absorb the being. I think Whiplash has got to be the favorite heading into this fight, especially with their much lower wedge than Bite Force, and they're kind of the underdog, seeing as Bite Force has beaten Whiplash 2 times in a row. As for the defending champion, the 27 seed Bite Force, they have not been doing great this season. I mean, 2-2 is pretty nasty. One of the bots they beat was Emerald, and they almost lost just to Uppercuts. The defending champion just has not been able to rely on those wedges to keep them winning fights. So they used hinged wedges against Uppercut to great effect. Now we'll see what they do with their hinged forks. If they attach hinges onto their fork configuration, they're going to try and be a bit more patient against Whiplash this time around. It's the defending champion looking to at least gain a tied record. But they have not had the greatest season, and I feel like Whiplash might very well be able to take the win here against a struggling Bite Force. Let the bot battle begin. A high-stakes match for both of these machines. The 6th seed versus the defending champion, and Whiplash is easily getting underneath those hinged forks of Bite Force. They've already flipped them over and are trying to throw them out of the arena, but the ears of Bite Force preventing that from happening. Instead, they just throw them in the screws and then put them in the corner again. Whiplash is just kind of just toying with Bite Force at this point. They could have left them for that a while ago, but just like in their most recent fights in the Season 1 quarterfinal, they are allowing him to get back into this fight, flipping him over. But there goes part of the forks, one set of the forks of Bite Force, and Whiplash just gets underneath again and nearly flips Bite Force again. But they are just in complete control. There is Bite Force, the defending champion, is getting mauled in this fight. Whiplash, that new wedge, has just been absolutely what they've needed for this entire season. And there's a big throw, and now Whiplash eats the other forks of Bite Force. Bite Force is on its head, Whiplash leaving him there, and the defending champion is eliminated from the tournament in the round of 32. What a performance by Whiplash, their 4th win of the season. They have just been dominant. Lift after lift. Bite Force's hinged forks did not work at all once. Whiplash just used his wedge, got underneath Bite Force, and just threw it around, tried to get them out of the arena. The fact that they couldn't do that is the only reason the fight kept going. They broke some of the forks off, and then they just threw the defending champion to the ground and ate the other forks. Whiplash will advance to the round of 16, face the 11th seed Titan. An absolutely incredible performance. This Bite Force didn't stand a chance, and we will have a new champion for Season 2, as the defending champion is already out in the first round. Who would have thought that Bite Force, after nearly going undefeated last season, would fall to 2-3 in Season 2. Meanwhile, Whiplash takes its place, getting its 4th win, 4-1 overall this season. What a win for Whiplash. So the 6th seed Whiplash gets revenge over the 27 seed Bite Force and knocks the defending champ out of the tournament. They'll have a tough match in the round of 16 against the 11 seed Titan, who ripped apart Fusion after an incredibly close and brutal brawl. And right above that, in the round of 16, we will see the 3-seed Bloodsport, who after splitting Bombshell in half, have a rematch against the 19-seed Duck, who threw the 14-seed Witch Doctor out of the arena. Promises to be an incredible round of 16 Quadrant, but that won't be for a while. Next time, we will move on to Quadrant 2, where we will see bots like Nemesis, the Other Glitch, Monochrome, and Mannerheim all fight to advance. That's all for now. See you next time.